Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a really good one for you today because I am in Irvine, California. I am at Mason Park, and so much to cover. There is so much worldwide economic chaos going on right now that I literally woke up and said, I'm not going to make a video today, but there's so much happening that you guys are getting another video. So before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you get notified of everything. Don't forget I have a Patreon channel. If you'd like more access to me, you can sign up for the Patreon channel as well. Let's get into it. With everything that is going on right now, with the high inflation, this is something that's happening not just to us, but absolutely worldwide. And one thing that I get a complete kick out of is I bought a bunch of ammo for the ducks and geese. One thing I get a kick out of is the inflation that we're having here, that people are saying, oh, it's no big deal, it's only 7.5%. You're seeing it completely spike and go out of control in other countries. And I'm getting all these different news stories sent to me that are absolutely fascinating. And the first one is Argentina. Argentina has an anticipated inflation right now of 42.5%. And as I started researching this video, the finance minister of Argentina has great news because he thinks they're going to control it and it's only going to go up to 47.5%. 47.5%, guys. So again, completely out of control. And isn't that something a politician would say? Hey, got some good news. We're going to get inflation. It's going to stay within 5% of where we're at right now, which is 42.5%. So the poor people of Argentina, I don't know how you live. I don't know how you plan anything. I don't know how you do anything when you live that way. Wow, look at how big these turtles are, guys. Dan getting sidetracked. Isn't that crazy? Look at those. Wow, okay. These turtles were not here naturally. They were all dropped by people that had them as pets. And I've seen some small ones, but these guys, man, these guys are huge. Look at that. Look at how big those guys are. That is crazy. So, cop a squat and hang out and keep the turtles in the background for you. So, Argentina, 42.5%. And here's one even better. Lebanon right now is out of control. They're going to have a 93% slide in their currency, in the value of their currency right now. People in Lebanon are purchasing anything they can, gold, high-end ticket items, anything that they can get that's of value. They're buying Ferraris, they're buying Lamborghinis, they're buying anything they can for the people that have that kind of money, just so they can preserve some sense of wealth through this time. It is absolutely out of control. The president there just asked for everybody to turn in their foreign currency and their gold. Now, this reminds me of the 1933 time when the federal government here asked for people to turn their gold in. And I found that story and I wanted to share that with you guys too, where they said everybody needs to turn their gold in, and then they ended up selling it, and then they ended up making all the money from that. So again, it is absolutely crazy that this is happening around the world, and you can say, oh, those countries are so backwards, it would never happen here. There's a lot of things that are happening right now here that don't make sense. Now, another foreign government, Portugal. I got people that wrote me today and said, Dan, Portugal, the banks in Portugal are closed right now, and they've been closed for 6 hours with no explanation. And again, the explanation for you guys is when this happens, when you get, what are you going to do to prepare yourself if the banks close for a week, 5 days, 3 days? Okay? You have to prepare yourself somehow. And this is warning after warning after warning that this could happen. Now, call me crazy, call me anything you want, but we're seeing more bank closures. We're seeing Wells Fargo Bank, the largest bank in the country, close more branches now and announce more branch closures right now. Okay, that's scary. That's scary enough. So with inflation going up and being out of control and everything that's happening internationally right now that could dramatically affect us, the stock market continues to go down. The plunge protection team can buy whatever they want, but they're just not keeping a hold of it. Now, I'm not calling for a complete market collapse, but I'm calling for vigilance and having people be ready, with everything that they, with supplies, with money, with gold and silver on hand, and, being aware of what you have in the house, what you need. Now, here's another thing. I had a guy come to my house, hired his business. They do organization, and they, design stuff and clean up the garage and, organize different things in the house. Well, after talking to Tony, the owner of the company, it was fascinating because Tony was a manager of a Ralph's supermarket. Now, I don't know if you have Ralph's around the country, but Ralph's is a very prominent grocery store chain here. And it was fascinating because he got out of that market right before the health crisis started and started his own business. Good for him. And people need his service. But one thing that was absolutely fascinating talking to this guy was that there's so much preparation done at the store level when there's either a health crisis or there's a natural disaster or something like that. Now, that was fascinating because I'm like, oh yeah, what's the preparation? So, we have earthquake drills, we have the, hurricane drills, depending on where the store is located. But the number one problem, it's not a health crisis, the number one problem that could affect a store chain is a trucker strike. So with what could potentially happen here in the United States, you guys need to go out and make sure you have food and supplies inside the house to where you could live for a few days and not have to go to the grocery store. Use the money now, prepare now while there is no situation. Because with what this guy told me is that how long does it take for a grocery store to get cleaned out if there is a run in the grocery store? I'm thinking, 2 days, 3 days, 8 hours, one shift is what they anticipate. All the meat, all the produce gone in 8 hours, completely cleaned out. Well, that was scary. Well, what if they don't have deliveries, Tony? That's it, Dan. The biggest problem that we thought of was a trucker strike. And it was chaos. And having him explain this to me was fascinating, to say the least. So, I looked at all my stored food. I looked at everything I had, checked dates on everything with this guy, and went through what I had to make sure that I've got enough. And again, it's just me at the house, guys. Kids are gone now. So I don't have enough. That's what we came to the conclusion. No big deal, but that's just how it all worked out. Well, the ducks finally figured out I was here. So get yourself ready. It's not fear-mongering. It's not Dan's Mr. Chaos. No, it's get ready. Be prepared. My brother did this to me 2 years ago, and he said, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to pay your bills off, and you're going to have some extra food in the house, and supplies, and toilet paper. And he was absolutely right. And you know what? I've never not slept over things like that. And again, having this guy that used to be the manager of a grocery store, a large grocery store, prominent, very busy, made me freak out and made me sit there and realize I got to share this with you guys, because you have to be ready just to make sure you have dry goods. Make sure you have, if you drink milk, if you have almond milk, if you have the packaged milk, things that have a long shelf life. Different cans, different pasta sauces, different things that if you couldn't cook, if the stove wouldn't work or something like that, and you had to cook on the barbecue, how would you make a hot meal? Maybe you wouldn't, okay? But a lot of people, you could put pasta in water and eat, eventually, so anyways, not to get too preppy, but you've got to prepare for this and just be aware of everything. Make sure you have money. We're starting to see more bank outages internationally. And this is an absolute concern that this is happening. It's not just onesies, twosies, and people are emailing me this stuff. And the bank closures are a real concern. Everything that we're seeing inside the stock market, that's chaos, guys. That's absolutely nuts. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Really want to know what you think. I want to thank everybody who has been sending birthday cards and gifts and things like that. I just am so grateful for the time and the effort that you guys have put into sending me stuff. My birthday's at the end of this week, and we always, in my family, celebrate the birthday week, so I truly appreciate that. And if you want to get a hold of me, the contact information is in the video description below. It has just been named the most unaffordable city, Miami, and this is crazy. The average house in Miami is now $600,000. It's the least affordable housing market in the entire country. The average salary, 43 grand, the houses are 600,000, which for you to afford the payments would be about 80% of your money would go towards housing right now. How is this sustainable, guys? How is this something that people are not going to see it just collapse and in just a mess right now? So I talked to a friend that lives in the Austin, Texas area that came from California and moved to Austin, Texas. And he said, wow, Dan, watching all your videos makes me miss home. And we got to talking about traffic and things like that, and how Austin is experiencing, with all the growth and all the people that are coming to Austin, they're experiencing traffic and things like that they haven't had in quite some time. And he said it's different here because he feels that the infrastructure was never built to handle this many people. And we talked about freeways that we both knew from 20 years ago that were 2 and 3 lane highways that were backed up then, and they had to widen them, and now they're 8 lanes wide. And he said they're gonna have to do that with Austin, and it would take years for it to get caught up. So that's fascinating when you think about that, when you think about communities and people that are trying to get through a city. And again, a lot of people are moving to Austin, and it's completely backed up. The other thing is Carvana. We keep talking about Carvana. Carvana is in the news more and more. They are not giving people title to the cars, and this is fascinating. There's another story where Carvana sold somebody a stolen car. The vehicle was stolen, and then it got somehow in the Carvana system, sold to a man, and the car was actually a stolen vehicle. Just crazy. So Carvana's got a lot of stuff to answer to right now. And again, I was fascinated by the whole program, trying to look at cars. It was just chaotic, you know, when I did that a year ago. And I'm really glad I didn't buy through Carvana. So has anybody had any success with them or any of those other online places? The other thing that's fascinating is they built one of those car vending machines in a place called Pomona, California, and didn't get a building permit for it. Just built it and said they were going to do auto storage there, and built a building. How do you tie into the electrical grid and things like that they had to do? I don't know, but Carvana's got a lot of problems. I'm just curious if anybody has dealt with them, but it's just continual problems, and now they're selling stolen vehicles. So share your thoughts on all this. Speaking of cars, here's an utterly fascinating statistic that's out right now, and that is that with the chip shortage that has affected every manufacturer, you are seeing that car prices have skyrocketed. This one stat is absolutely amazing. It is anticipated that 82% of all the car purchases right now are above the manufacturer's suggested retail price. 82%. Who needs a car that bad, guys? You guys are out financing cars, and you're paying, you know, well above the sticker price for it. It's insane. It's absolutely insane that people are doing this. So you got 82% of the cars being sold that high. One thing that people should look at is there are alternatives out there, and there are companies where you can basically make a payment and they will let you drive a car. There's a guy here in Southern California that's got a Tesla program for all you Tesla maniacs. That basically, you sign up on the app, you make a car payment, you get to drive the car and use the car as if it's your own, basically renting the car, but you don't own the car and you're not paying for it. You're not putting a huge down payment down. This is going to be the alternative until the market settles. So when will it settle? Who knows? GM, last week was just telling us how the chip shortage is done, and now people are paying 82% of the people are paying more for the asking price of a car than the sticker price. Stupid. Now, speaking of stupid, our politicians are getting together right now, and they have a plan to give what they call a gas tax holiday, which has never been done. The federal gas taxes right now are about 18 to 19 cents a gallon for gas right now. They want to give a gas holiday where you don't have to pay the federal taxes. How stupid is that? I mean, what a waste of time. No wonder why they can't balance a budget, and they're talking about an 19 cents, whatever it is, for the federal taxes, giving that as a discount for 2 days, 3 days, a week. Think about how much gas you buy. Okay, 10 gallons, 20 gallons for your car. You'd save, $10, over the course of a week. It's ridiculous. So there are other alternatives. You can go out there. There are coupons. There's store coupons that you can get where you'll save 20 cents a gallon on gas. So again, politicians are out of control. They have no idea what they're doing. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, because I think it's absolutely nuts that they're trying to have a federal gas tax holiday, which would do nothing, would do absolutely nothing. So here in California, with the increase in oil prices and what's anticipated if there is an international conflict, you could see oil go up well above $100, $150 or even $200, and you would see gas here at $7 to $10 here in California, that is. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. I know everybody hates paying for gas. I get all the different emails from you guys and all the different pictures and everything. It's absolutely nuts of what we're seeing. With the international situation between Russia and Ukraine, here is something that's utterly fascinating. When Russia fell, and it collapsed in 1991, there was a young KGB agent named Vladimir, and he couldn't get a job. So Vladimir Putin became a cab driver. He was driving cabs. Now, I wonder, do you think, he did it for like over a year or two. What I want to know is, do you think that this guy, became the leader of Russia and is a maniacal psychopath, do you think that this guy went out and even the score with certain people, certain fares that that weren't polite to him, let's just put it that way. So think about this. I mean, because we were joking about this the other day, and that is, do you remember when I took you to the airport and you were rude to me? Yes, I never forgot you. I mean, that guy, think about this. I wonder if anybody ever put that together, because you have the little name on the front of the car, and Vladimir, you're an idiot, Vladimir, drive faster. So I wonder if that happened. We will see. So the lesson here is be kind to your Uber driver, because he could be the maniacal leader of another country someday. Who knows, With the eviction moratorium officially ending, we are starting to see regions in the country that are completely backlogged with eviction filings and court cases. In Queens, New York, it's insane how bad this is. Now, there is a couple living together that have not paid their rent in over 2 years. Now, these people were behind before the health crisis was officially started. They were behind a couple months prior to March of 2020. They've not paid any rent during this time to the landlord. The poor landlord, Joan Shu, again, she didn't follow the Scott Walters way of doing real estate. She has a $3,200 a month house payment on the apartment that she's purchased, and she's renting it out for $2,600 a month. So she's losing about $500-600 a month. These people owe her over $60,000. They still don't have a job. They can afford an attorney now. They got an attorney to fight the eviction notice, but the attorney says that they're so backlogged. Think about what I'm saying. There are 250,000 cases in that region alone. It's so backlogged that if they did the normal court appearances, it would take to the year 2304, to the next century, guys, to settle all these cases. Now, they have to do multiple cases in a day. They've got to speed things up and fix this, but these people are just waiting to live there for free. And Miss Shu, how she hasn't filed bankruptcy, and again, foolish to rent a place out. I'm just losing a few $100 a month. It's no big deal. It is a big deal, and she, lost a lot. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, because you're seeing this more and more where the evictions are getting caught up. Now, the other thing is, people write me all the time about the grant programs. The latest grant program that was out there, the last one basically, was the restaurant grant. They had $30 billion that were given to restaurants. There was all these problems with it because the SBA in its infinite wisdom just didn't do a first come, first serve. They changed it and then tried to change it to low income areas, to minority businesses only, women businesses only. They got the first crack at it before everybody else. And one guy in Texas sued them and said, wait a second, this is not fair. I'm a single dad running my place. And he got a restraining order and got them to stop issuing the funds. So it put a kibosh on it, and then they finally restarted the program and spit out all the money, and the $30 billion was given out to all the restaurants. But again, not a fair way of doing it by any means. And the restaurant owners, restaurant associations, all these different people have reached out and said, I want money. We need help right now. And as of today, officially, the Biden administration said that there is going to be no more money for the restaurants at all. So it's over, guys. So again, time to make plans, time to make changes, time to do what you can do to understand that there's no more stimulus right now. These guys can't even balance their own budget. They're not going to give restaurants any money. And again, I have seen so many restaurants. You know, Tony was talking to me today about a restaurant that he knows. Can you believe how cheap this restaurant is? It is in my hometown and they're selling it for this. And I guarantee that that restaurant that's unloading the restaurant owes the meat guy, the produce guy, the bread guy, everybody. The soda guy owes them all. And it's sad that we're going to see this, but you're going to see more and more businesses go out of business. I am absolutely amazed at when I'm out and about and I go from city to city, and just a few weeks, how a month will change over, we'll hit February, and all of a sudden all these places are out of business. So sign of the times, guys. And again, not every place is having a difficult time, and regionally, real estate is hot in some areas and it's not hot in other areas, but it's getting to the point that people cannot afford these homes, and you're gonna see a lot of people have to live together, move in with family members, whatever, because rent is absolutely skyrocketing right now as well. That's a huge problem that we're seeing. The crime and the security and everything that's going on in the stores. Since the last video, people were talking about how they've seen security tags on food for years and it's been no big deal. Well, it is a big deal. It is a big deal if we're worried about people stealing meat inside of a grocery store. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think. And what do you think about the eviction moratorium being lifted and the forbearance and the mortgage foreclosure finally going forward? Do you think it's time? Do you feel bad for these people? Share your thoughts on all this stuff. Everybody loves to play the blame game, and there's a couple stories that are kind of funny where you've got everybody so pro crypto, and it's, you've got all these different companies that are setting up crypto czars and crypto managers and crypto positions. But now Wall Street is saying the next big stock market crash is going to be caused by cryptos, because of the cryptos and how people are so into them. The banks are into them now, and it makes no sense. The article's from the Wall Street Journal of all places. And again, you want to blame somebody, but nobody wants to be responsible for themselves. So there's that. But then you look at a country like El Salvador, and they are setting up a crypto exchange and an ETF with crypto. They have $500 million already committed to that. And again, people are completely dedicated to El Salvador. You're going to see states, you're going to see cities, you're going to see countries rely more and more on cryptocurrencies. I don't know why, because as the stock market goes down, cryptocurrencies sure do go down along with it. And I don't know, there's got to be a hedge. There's got to be something where people go, hey, when this goes down, cryptos go up. There has to be something like that. And you can say it will be the fall of the dollar. I get all these people that write me that I'm stupid and all that stuff. But again, it makes no sense, because it's tied to nothing. It's tied to air right now, as far as I'm concerned. Gold's going up. You guys notice that? So is silver. Okay. Now, another great article about our infrastructure for our electric grid. Again, when you read stories about how if neighborhoods added more and more electric cars, it would destroy electric grids in entire communities. Well, the whole country's electric grid right now is so out of date and ready for major collapse. One of the subscribers sent me a an app that's really cool where you can see the outages around the country. You can literally just punch in, it'll tell you where the power's off across the country, which is fascinating. The thing that blew me away is how often things are shut down. And, you know, it's nice to look up your own neighborhood when the power goes off for 10 minutes, but this is happening all over the place. And again, preparation, guys. What if the power went off for, you know, days? Would you be able to handle it? And again, you know, people don't want to hear this. It's never going to happen. We're not going to have problems like these foreign countries you talk about. That may be. But again, wouldn't you sleep better at night if you knew you were just prepared a little bit more than normal? So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. The doggies are scaring the birds. It's amazing how big the turtles are now out here. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. And the first one is Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, has just invested money in a crypto-friendly bank. Once again, guys, cryptos are here to stay, to say the least. There's a great article about the real estate market that's about to get rained on because interest rates are going to go up. There's that. And the final thing is out of Yahoo Finance, they're talking about now is the good time to look at silver. It's time to get into silver. Gold, silver, silver mining stocks. And again, if you can get your hands on physical silver, it is the cheapest thing out there to invest in. And again, when you go to a pawn shop, coin shop, silver broker, don't pay more than just a few dollars over the current price of silver. No more than, I'd say, $5. I've seen people tell me that they're getting $12 from customers and things like that, and that's just insane. So please do not forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Share this with all your friends and colleagues. Again, guys, thank you for all the birthday wishes and everything you've sent me. If you want to get a hold of me, you can reach out below in the video description. Don't forget the Patreon channel that you can sign up for to get more access to me, and also the email list is down there too. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you all very soon.